Alrighty, so I just wanted to do a little bit of an overview of my progress in the staging area of the layout for anyone who's interested. As you can see, I've got the mountain kind of flat backdrop that I did with the foam and the puffball trees removed right now. I've also got the bridge that usually sits over there that's got the the lights and the flashing barrels. I've got that removed as well. Cleared everything out so that I could do the application of dirt and the application of some of the ballast that I use. And then I just threw a few freight cars and locomotives back in here just to get a visual, trying to make sure that my colors match the prototype and things are shaping up nicely, which at this point I think they are. I haven't done ballasting in about 10 years, so I was a little bit intimidated before I start, but I think things have kind of fallen into place. And for anyone out there who's intimidated by it, it's really not too bad once you start to get the hang of it and do it in short sections. Don't worry about more than a foot at a time, and it'll fly by. It's not that bad. So what I've got here, just for reference, is this is real dirt that has been, I'll show you a close-up here. This is real dirt that's been baked and sifted just from the yard, actually from the garden area, because there was some bags of soil put in there recently. So this was a little bit nicer looking out of all of the soil in my yard that I had to choose from. And then this is, I think it's just Woodland Scenics Gray Blend. I might have added a little bit more of the dark color to it just to make it match the prototype a little bit better. But those are the materials I've been using. I did do on the rail, on the ties, I painted everything a mix of some dark Vallejo colors. I think it was NATO brown plus 6K Russian brown, about 50-50. And so that's what I have for my tie color. I'm still going to come back and do some dry brushing after I do the ballasting. And I don't know if you can really see it. The camera doesn't pick up everything the same way as the eye does, but there was kind of a lighter rust color applied to the sides of the rails and the equivalent of the tie plates on this very low detail Atlas Code 100 track as best as I could. And that kind of helps the rails pop off a little bit from the ties. So in person, I think it probably looks better than it does on the camera. It doesn't, it's not distractingly bright. It's just a subtle accent to the sides of the rails there. But yeah, that's what I got going right now. I just wanted to do a quick update video. The only other thing I'm kind of thinking about right now is how do I apply ballast to the rest of these tracks in a way that looks natural, in the sense that it's not perfect and the ballast color from track to track is not identical, but it also doesn't look sloppy and like I accidentally couldn't match ballast colors or accidentally made everything go on wavy gravy. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about now. As of this moment, I think what I'm probably going to do is do these two tracks, apply the ballast in tandem, and then, there'll be room for weeds and stuff in between afterwards, but the ballast will be the same on these two and it'll be a little bit darker. And then maybe I'll go a little bit lighter with this one here, and then I'll go kind of close to the original color for these. And then I may do one or two start and stop points where along a single track the ballast changes just a little bit, so that it looks like they started applying in the middle of the track, as opposed to having the whole track perfectly consistent manicured ballast. Some of the variation and color changes that I want to get to the track will come from washes, maybe some powders, and basically some all-around weathering after the ballast is done. But I don't want the base ballast to be identical for all these 6 tracks and then just rely on paints and different effects afterwards. So that's kind of the next step for me. Really hoping that I can get this room done, bridge back in place, wired up, mountains, get some bushes and shrubs, maybe throw some maintenance away equipment and spare piles of old ties and spare rail and stuff like that here by Christmas time. That's about a week away, so maybe the New Year's is a little bit more realistic. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. Hope everyone's having a good time on their railroad as well. And feel free to send tips my way if you have any ideas for how to make your ballast look perfectly imperfect, if that makes sense. Anyways, have a good one.